How's everybody doing? Happy New Year! It is so. Just to, I'm going to try to make this quick, not a 30-minute. But Rachel and I, somewhat last minute, decided to just leave the country and run around like teenagers or 20-year-olds. We flew into. I'm just run through all of it. Yeah. It really ended up looking like this because we have to do points, right? So it was all points. All the hotels were points. All the flights were points. So it was it was literally probably a little over 1 million points that I've been saving for a decade. And flew into Chicago. Chicago flew into London, which was terrible. Never fly into Heathrow. They treat you like cattle there. Then flew into Brussels, and then started in Brussels and spent a few days in Brussels. Train to, which the trains here are phenomenal. Train to Reims, France, which is the Champagne region of France. Champagne, that's how they say it here. Champagne, and we had we're going to enjoy champagne on New Year's and champagne. And today, after we knock that out, we're going to head to Paris for just one night because we had to go there anyways with the train schedule. We're going to stay there for a night and then get up, head back to London, stay a couple nights in London, and then fly back home through Boston. I was supposed to meet with Dom in Boston, but didn't work out. But we're just going to probably sleep in the airport, at the hotel in the airport, because the jet lag thing is real. I used to make fun of people for that, and it's a thing. So we are over here right now. It's noon here. It's probably about 6 or even 5, I think, where you're at. So hope everybody's having a good time today. And you can see in my eyes, it's funny, I look like jet lag right now. So I don't have the bottles with me, but this is what we're going to have this month in January. We push forward. We most people are familiar with alpha, beta, and then gamma's next. We usually run those out in about March. The first one was alpha because it was the first one, and it was we did our first release in March a couple years ago. Then last year was beta because literally, well, we wanted to do it in March, but there was nothing really good. I had to pre-bottle everything. We barely made it through the winter, spitting everywhere, and then March we got lucky and found beta. So we blended the shit out of gamma, and we got lucky. We had a really nice warm December. Our barrel harvest season was extended quite a bit, and the conditions were just special. It wasn't as dry as normal. It wasn't as hot. It did have like a couple cold snaps and got warm again, or not as cold. It got a couple cold snaps and got warm again. The humidity kept flowing, so it just really presented itself. We took advantage, and we blended out a gamma. We thought about keeping it until January or March, but with Matt Porter coming on, I don't know if everybody knows, but Matt Porter is now master blender at Barrel King. We're going to do things together. He's going to have his projects, my projects. We'll probably do some collabs, I hope. And with Matt coming on, we're already starting to work together, and I think his stuff will probably he probably have something, as long as we can find the barrels for him. Right now, the barrels aren't popping, but he usually pulls things out of his rear and just like makes these magical things happen. No matter what I send him, his releases, guys, weren't the best barrels. Like he came on board and started working with us, March, and they weren't the best barrels. They were somewhat, I want to say, leftover, but they just weren't the best. And what he did with them was amazing, and that's when I knew we had to capture him. And so So I expect for some of this stuff probably, and this isn't an official announcement, it's not, but uh, probably I'm hoping March. There's a possibility that it might be a little bit later, depending on barrel quality. We do have we have golds figured out January, February, and honestly March as well, uh, which gets us through that. Now, if we have some good stuff come, like the older barrels came in, if those are really starting to settle down, so when I was there, when they came in, they weren't great. Didn't blow me away. So I hate to even say that in public, but it's true. But it's also they just came out of a rick house in Indiana. Um, for some reason, I mean, barrels do better in Bourbon, Missouri. I don't get it. We got lucky on that one. Maybe it's like an energy center of the universe. I don't know. Maybe it's like a little Sedona in the hills. But I did bring Gamma with me, um, just so I can. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. So we bottled Gamma. There's two options this month. It's going to be Gamma, and then we're going to have a new Knighted Rye. So usually our Knighteds come out. It's a bourbon finished in bourbon with the like it's like a gunmetal blue uh, foil for the label. Which our original knighted, if you remember, we did our first knighted. Rachel came up with the knighted name. It was actually a rye finished in bourbon barrels, and it was like it was a 95 rye finished in OWA barrel, and everybody thought it was a wheated bourbon. So that was our original knighted. We started doing. I was like, let's do bourbon, and we made that the night because we loved the name, and it seemed to it really kind of stuck. Um, but now we're going, and we've had a couple of these ryes finished in bourbons, and I think they're just bangers, man. You take a 95 rye and finish it like a stag barrel or something. It's hard to beat. Some of the best ryes I've ever had, and so we wanted to stick with the same name, Knighted. All we did was change bourbon finished in bourbon. We changed it to rye finished in bourbon, and we changed the. You're gonna be able to tell by looking at the foil on the label. It's gonna be it's like a bronze color, like a copper color. I'm a little colorblind, but you'll see. I haven't seen it myself. I think it comes in the mail here, shipped out. I think, babe, a couple days ago. So we're gonna have them in a few days, and we'll start putting those together. But two options this month. One's Gamma, straight bourbon. It's probably about 30% double oaked. You can still call it a bourbon if you double oak something as long as it's a new char. We had a bunch of 15-gallon barrels that we bought and filled, and I was just really kicking myself in the ass for it. Well, it paid off. They really worked out in this blend, and we had a bunch of leftover, real lots of headspace, like almost short barrels. We had used all the original barrels, and they say we had like 7 inches in the bottom or 15 inches in the bottom. We had a few of those like that, and those really had a lot of tobacco and a lot of older notes on them. So it's probably like a 10-barrel blend, really, at the end of the day, ranging from 6 year to like 8 year. Um, about 30% double oaked. I'd have to look at the stats, the exacts on that, and I just think it's amazing. So that's a straight bourbon Gamma, and then the other one is going to be a Willet Stag finished rye. Um, yes, that is correct. I make sure I was telling you all right, but that is correct. Boy, I hope that's correct. It is correct, and oh yeah, and it's like and we went through like 40, 50 barrels. It was if I remember right, it was AJ, D'Angelo, and me at the end of one of our party nights with the band. Nobody was really around. It was literally just the five of us. Sometimes there's 100 people that come in that day. That night it was like 5 people, and we went back there, and I was like, "Well, if this is over," I was like, "Rachel, can I?" She's like, "Absolutely," because whenever we get ready for a concert, we can't really do anything back there. We have to kind of keep it open. So pulled all the barrels down. Literally went through every single barrel in like probably 40 minutes and found the best. And I took those. The best of what we pulled was like 2 or 3 barrels, and blended those in a ratio that worked very oily. And then I did a quick finish on them. Stag, the stag was fast, and I felt like it was maybe even a little over, so I threw it in a willet to kind of even that out. I wanted to bring more like fruit to it. Um, so I'm just gonna say this: Usually ryes don't sell out for months. We'll have like one barrel of rye, 150 bottles. It'll sit around for a year sometimes. Um, if you love rye, get this one. If you don't love rye, don't. Hopefully, it makes it all the way through. I'm going to say that it's probably uh, my favorite rye that we've put out. I think it's my favorite finished rye we've ever put out. And now I'm sure it'll probably sell out in the first 10 minutes, but it really is. I think it's the best rye. We may, if it's still as good as it was whenever I last drank it, because that changes in the bottle, we probably will send that out to some awards. I think it's worthy. And I think Gamma is. I struggle with the Gamma. Um, I think I'm just, man, it really is smell good. I think that I struggle a little bit because I'm doing this every day. I'm drinking all the time and really just highly picky. Anymore, it has to be just exceptional for me to enjoy. It's weird. I had to double guess myself in this one quite a bit and brought in. Well, there's a bunch of it was a tasting panel of like 12, 15 golds. We did side by sides with beta, beta, and uh, and gamma, and what else did we put in there? I don't want to say wrong, but it was three or four, and and this is the one. Gamma better than beta, beta better than alpha. So, and I don't, if everybody remembers right, it's alpha double platinum, like top 15 bourbons of in the world in the Ascots in our first run. Then beta was also double Ascot, top 12 bourbons in the world last year. We actually had two of the 12 spots last year in bourbon, two of the 12 finished bourbons also last year. And but beta was one of those. It was a single barrel. This is a blend, and it's better. It just beats it side by side. And I had a hard time thinking it could be better until we did it. Uh, and I think the reason for me it's better is it's a lot deeper. This particular gamma, the blend started out. We blended it and then we made it, and I was like, and we thought we had it perfect. We bottled it. We had to actually reblend it after we bottled it one time, and so we reblended it later because the finish kind of fell off, and it was more like a chocolate bomb, um, almost like sipping chocolate then. But now it's like chocolate and vanilla. It's like it's delicious, dude. I'm gonna say this: the 13 colonies are a little like over extracted. Like they're very like if you know, like that's like wine talk, extracted, highly extracted wines. I like some of the really nice extracted wines. Uh, Matt Wessler's got me hooked on this in Equanon. Those are just for me for me, but they do seem a little extracted or forced. And I think some of our bourbon seems forced. We don't have very old stuff. We don't have much stuff, and we just really are scrappy and work hard to make things amazing. Taking 6-year bourbon and then doing blends and then finishing in bourbon barrels and blending it again and but it's like the 13 colonies. This just seem forced and extracted, kind of like, and I'm sure it's legit. They're probably just making something different than anybody else, but I just don't enjoy them. It's like I can see like what they're supposed to be or how they're supposed to taste or whatever, and like I don't know if it wasn't a more of a they crafted that rather than it happened, which we craft about everything because we don't have much to work with. But this one is kind of that, but it's like what I would want it to be. It doesn't seem forced, and that's like all the new hot. Everybody wants that now. That's why I bring it up to kind of, and it was a bit of an inspiration of mine lately, just to kind of do that without it seeming so polarizing on the palate. But it's delicious, dude. It's crazy. And it's not like it don't taste like a proof bomb or like the finish isn't like overwhelming. To me, it's just nice. It's so a little bit of citrus, lots of chocolate, some like birthday cake, some like even a little bit of cookie dough, a little bit of cherry. Um, it's delicious, guys. This is good. I don't know. I don't. Joey, this is the one he thought was the best thing we ever did. I don't know. It's up there for sure, and I hope that everybody enjoys it. There's definitely enough to get through to everybody, so I'm excited about that. And that's Gamma coming your way, January. And then the other one is Knighted Rye, Killer Rye. I think it's the best rye we've done. I'm gonna say it's Stag and Willet. I have to look when I get home, and maybe we'll do an official whenever we send out the email. But that's it. That's all I got for you. And then if you want some really particular specifics on these on the both offerings, I do believe that Matt Porter is going to release. I think either today, the 31st, or tomorrow, the 1st, a a a rundown of how he feels about it. So check out ADHD Whiskey. Look for that video and see what he thinks about it. He is the top whiskey taster of the world, so I think you can trust his notes on that. So, and I would have more for you guys, but we are afoot in Europe, and love everyone very much, and thank you so much for everything that you've done for us. Yeah, thank you so much for everything, and I'll see you in the new year. You know, it's right around the corner. Love you guys so much. Cheers, happy New Year, and see you soon.